Hey guys, we're live. I'm Jeff with Ebayaddicts, and today my guest is Flip a Dollar. How you doing today, bro? Are you there? There you go. I'll put you on full screen. I can't hear you. Hey, I can't hear you. Yeah, are you on mute? I can't hear you, bro.
Okay, how about now?
I can hear you now. Go ahead. I said our guest is Flip a Dollar. You're going to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell people who you are, where you're from, all that. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me on. My name is on YouTube at Flip a Dollar. I'm an entrepreneur. I like to do retail arbitrage. I like to do garbage arbitrage. I'm just into anything resale. I'm from Philadelphia, PA, and I'm here to talk retail arbitrage, flipping stuff, whatever, anything resale.
All right, awesome. So I saw some of your videos, and I saw some of your posts on Instagram. Do you want to tell people kind of your backstory and how you got started into reselling? Because I saw that you were like selling stuff out of the back of a bicycle. Is that correct?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm into anything that has to do with reselling. I used to sell juices and waters at the basketball court. You see me with my three-wheel bike, where I used to ride through the city with a three-wheel bike with a basket in the back of it, selling video games and tablets, and, whatever I could get my hands on and resell, I was doing it. And that was before the internet. Used to be selling things. I used to set up a stand illegally and just like sell my different stuff. And then when Ella and I came around to check, I would break my table down and run and get out of there, put it in the car and whatnot. And then I just figured out about the internet, and I started doing it on the internet, like putting stuff on the internet. I still do flea markets and selling stuff at the flea market, and just anything resale, man.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, let me know in the chat if we're lagging or freezing up. I want to catch the people in the chat. We have the Bargain Effect is here. We have Kentucky Fan 42. We got American Made. We got Wendy here in the chat. We got Drifter Thrifters is here. We got Bearded Veteran, Wendy. We got Fundamentals of Side Hustling is here. And so I think that's it. So man, I saw some of your videos. I can't remember if it was on Instagram or YouTube. We got BK from the Rockies is here. Says, hope everyone is doing well. So I saw one of your videos and you were buying video games for like 3 cents a piece at Walmart. And the dude tried to take your merchandise from you. What's up with that, man? You want to tell us a story about what happened?
Oh yeah, he actually did take it. What happened was, I was on a hunt for some 3-cent video games, which is something that I do from time to time because it's not always something you can do. You have to wait until the right time to do it, and you have to be up to date with when that does happen and what titles and whatnot. But I was searching for some known titles that I have a list of just different games that are 3 cents or were 3 cents, and you got to catch it at the right time because what happens with Walmart is if you don't catch it at the right time, it cycles over and goes back to full price. So it is unmarked clearance. It will not say that it's 3 cents in most cases. Sometimes it does. That's when you in the store that is up to date on running their department and markdowns and whatnot. Then you'll likely not be able to catch it, or you will if they display it, because it's an unwritten rule where some people will take it from you, and I believe it's because they want it. If you have kids or nephews or anybody that has video games and you see something that's 3 cents, it's easy to just say, hey, I can't sell you this, and then later on before you go to leave, you check out and you go ahead and take it home. But under any circumstances, and what you asked me about, I went through the bin. I don't know how your Walmart is where you are, but in PA we have some Walmarts where it's like a big bin of movies and games and just different merchandise inside of a bin. So what I did was I noticed there was video games mixed in with the movies. That's a good sign that you'll find some 3-cent games, because if you got movies and games together, obviously it's not being managed the way that it could be. So it's usually something in there that's like good. So I went through the entire bin. You're talking about like 400 items or something like that. So I'm using different shopping carts and moving games here, moving movies here, and just going down to the bottom. So I found everything that I was looking for. I found some PS Vita games that were 3 cents. I found some PS2 games, some PS3 games. I had a big stack of games. I filled me up a a shopping cart, and I went to check out. And when I got to the back to check out, as the lady started scanning the game, and she looked at the total, she noticed that all of them were 3 cents. So I forgot exactly what she said to me, but she was trying to debate if what was going on was legit or not. And I was telling her I don't have a way to do any magic on the register and make it 3 cents. It's 3 cents. So, excuse me, because she had never seen this before, she went and got the manager. So when the manager came, he did a little trick move where he just took the stuff, and the whole time I was protesting, I was like, look, if you feel like there's some type of protocol where you have to take them, can you at least show me the policy, or can you have somebody that's your boss come talk to me and tell me why or how this actually works, because it's on the floor and it's for sale. I found it, I came to check out, and now you want to take it. Something's wrong with that. But under any circumstances, the guy took it. He took the games, and that was it. And the most I could do was try to like argue with him about why he shouldn't have done it, and it just didn't work.
All right, man. So can you give us some tips or advice or pointers? I've seen people on YouTube and on Instagram that have bought video games at Walmart. Like, for example, I saw some like Duck Dynasty games that have been sitting there forever, and this guy bought them for like 3 cents a piece. So, but I don't know if there's like what protocol, because they weren't like marked clearance. You know what I mean? It was like hidden clearance. You had to go by and scan them. So if I wanted to go to my local Walmart and find these deals, do I need to do BrickSeek, or is there a certain app, or where do I need to go, or what do I need to do to find these deals? Do you just need to scan a bunch of barcodes? Can you give us some hints or pointers or advice?
Well, BrickSeek would be like the first step that you would do. You most likely won't find it on BrickSeek, but what you will find on BrickSeek is you'll find clearance that is just really, really good, and that's a potential store to go check. This is usually unmarked, and like I said, you really have to keep a really close eye on the store, and you have to just really be in tune with what's going on to catch this, because it's something that's kind of like it's off the radar, and this is something that's talked about in private groups and whatnot like that. Usually when you get the information that's old and it's no longer there. You know, when you see it like on YouTube or anything like that, it's usually already gone. You know, people really don't care, you know, what's going on with it, because you have to really be in the store consistently to know what's going on. Like what I used to do, what I can't do now, is I would go into the stores overnight and scan everything. And I did this amongst like 13 stores. But now, since Walmarts are no longer 24 hours, I can't do it.
Right, man. I could tell you're a hustler, bro. I was watching some of your stuff on Instagram, on YouTube, and I was like, man, this guy's just like me. He's a hustler. So tell everybody, what kind of items do you prefer to sell? You mainly just sell on eBay, or what platforms do you sell on?
Currently, I don't have anything listed on eBay. I do sell on eBay, but right now I'm just on Amazon and Mercari. I usually sell on like at least 3 to 4 platforms. Like I got locked out of my GameFlip account. I don't know if you know about GameFlip.com. I got locked out of my GameFlip account trying to get that figured out. But normally I would sell on GameFlip, eBay, Amazon, and Mercari, and sometimes Bonanza and some other platforms. And I definitely always sell locally. You know what I'm saying? Right.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just sell on eBay at the moment. But so you make a full-time living reselling, or do you have another full-time job? Do you work on top of that?
I'm a gig worker as well. I do make a full-time income doing reselling. But like I said, I'm an entrepreneur, so I gig work. I do Instacart, DoorDash. You know, I just do a little bit of everything, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I told you he's just like me, bro, because I do the same thing. I have 2 eBay stores, but when I'm not working for eBay, I have an app on my phone for a courier company, and I'll just log in and deliver packages for the courier company. You see what I mean? So, exactly. Like, let's say I'm in Tampa, and they text me and say, we need you to go to Fort Myers. So I go to Fort Myers, pick up a box, come back to Tampa, and drop it off. That one box is $100. You see what I mean? But if you go and get 4 or 5 of them a night, then it starts adding up. So, right. So I saw that you were doing a little bit of Instacart. You were doing DoorDash. You do Postmates. Have you heard of Roadie before? Have you downloaded that app? Roadie app?
No, I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's an app where you're delivering stuff. Maybe you have you're at Walmart and you deliver packages from Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that. And then they also have things where you can like pick up someone's prescription medicine at Walgreens or something and drop it off. You can check it out. I have a video on it on my YouTube channel, or you could just download the app and try it out real quick. I'm going to catch some people in the chat. We got Carolina Hustler in the house. We got Fundamentals of Side Hustling. We got Wendy here. Thrifters is here. He says they have the right to refuse to sell at any time their product. They're building their rules. We got BK from the Rockies here, and we had American Made. So, are you making a full-time living now from reselling? Like, how has your sales been this year?
My sales are great, man. My sales are great. My profit margin is extremely, like, it's next level, man. What I do, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I do garbage arbitrage, so I get stuff for free. I get stuff out the trash. I get stuff through contract. I get stuff through connections, without having to pay anything for it. And I sell it, and then I usually buy stocks. After I sell the stuff, I go buy stocks with that money, or I get more inventory and whatnot. But yeah, man. In my career, I've paid $600,000 on Amazon doing retail arbitrage.
Really? So tell people all about what's going on. Tell me about your sourcing techniques, because how do you go about getting stuff for free? Because when I tell people, like, hey, go look on Craigslist, look in the free section on Saturday, Sunday, at the end of these yard sales, they'll put stuff out of the street curb for free. And people are like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not climbing through. I'm like, what do you mean? You'll go to a yard sale and pay money to buy merchandise? But if they're giving you that same merchandise left over from a yard sale for free, you won't drive 10 minutes down the road and pick it up? To me, that don't make any sense to me. So it's like, it don't make any sense. It's like if I was going to the drive-thru at Burger King and they said, okay, we're going to sell you a number 10 combo for $5. But if the guy was like, here, dude, I'm going to give you the food for free, you wouldn't take the food for free, but you're willing to pay $5 for it? That's the way my brain is. I'm like, it's the same burger and fries, right? They didn't do nothing to it. So I'm like, if they're giving you merchandise for free, it's not in a dumpster. They're putting it out the street curb and say, hey, it's free. All you got to do is pull up and come pick it up. Why would you not do that? It's free profit there, right? So tell people about some of your sourcing techniques and how you go about, besides doing retail arbitrage, is there other places you like to source at? You like to do yard sales, estate sales? Do you like to do like you shop at the Dollar Tree? What are some of the places you like to go to the flea market? What's some of the places you like to go sourcing at?
Man. My favorite sourcing is the methods that I use doing trash to cash, which is the stuff that's free, and sometimes you do have to pay, but it's much cheaper than what you would pay if it were retail. But yeah, like I said, I do everything. So I thrift, I buy from flea markets, I buy from people privately. Like I said, I make a lot of connections. A lot of my stuff is making connections, which is very important, because some people, they go to stores or they do the same things that we do, but they don't have the same results because they don't really make any connections. They just kind of just see what's there and take what's there, when you have to create in most cases to really take things to the next level. So it's really important to get relationships and put stuff together, make it come together, so you can really make your moves.
Okay, cool. I'm going to ask you about connections. We had a question real quick from Carolina Hustler. He says, what stocks have you been buying? He says, I did that with my extra money as well. So he just curious about what stocks you've been buying.
Well, in my portfolio, about 60% of it is dividend-paying stocks. And then the other stuff is just stuff that I think will do well in the future. So I'm invested. I have invested in all of the companies that have anything to do with electric cars. The first company I got into was Tesla. And then after I saw the explosion of just investors and the future of what Tesla is doing, I started to invest in any other company that's doing exactly what they're trying to do, or has their hand in batteries or mining the materials to make batteries or solar cells and whatnot, because we're not going to be using gasoline forever, and all of us have cell phones, so they need to make batteries for cell phones and this and that. It's not going to stop at cars. Once they master the technology to do these batteries and solid state batteries and whatnot, there's going to be a lot of potential. So I've been investing into that. Like I said, I got dividend paying stocks, so we're talking about AT&T. We're talking about different holding groups and things like that. And yeah, just taking risks with money that I came across relatively easily. So we'll see what
All right,
happens.
cool. All right, so I wanted to get more into developing relationships because I talk about that on my channel a lot. And
Yeah.
so, can you talk a little bit about how that happens? You just walk up to them and like introduce yourself, say, here's my business card, or how does someone go about building relationships in order to get better merchandise? And so I have another question also. Have you gone out to like estate sales and say, hey, if you have stuff left over at the end of the estate sale and you want to get rid of it, I'll come by and pick it up for you? Have you done that or talk to people and see if you can set that up or what?
Not at estate sales. I do that. I do that at store closing sales. Never at an
All
estate
right.
sale. Basically, at a store closing sale, that works like most of the time. A store is closing, you can go and try to act as the end buyer, where basically you'll go to the liquidator, which is usually the person that owns all of the merchandise, because it usually transfers from the company to the liquidator because the company is getting out of the way, so to speak. So someone comes and does exactly what we do, but they'll buy 12 stores or 20 stores or 2 stores or whatever. And then now they do the sales where they go through the levels all the way down to 90 to 95%. Usually as an end buyer, you get 90 to 95%. And you take all, or you can finesse it, take certain things and act like you want to be the end buyer and then just leave them hanging at the end. It's a lot of different ways that you can do it. I've done all of them, where you'll make a relationship. And to answer your question, I usually let the relationship happen organically. You don't want to force it. If you come into a place and just say, hey, I'm such and such and blah, 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 it's like, what makes them want to do anything with you? Because it's not happening organically. Now, the way for it to happen organically, as you're doing what you're doing, I'm in a Walmart and I got 4 shopping carts of games. Obviously, somebody that works there is going to say, wow, are you buying all of that? You see what I'm saying? So now they opened the conversation with me. So now that they're asking me, hey, are you buying all of that? I said, yeah, you got more? So me doing that, it opens up something. They can say, yes, I have more, or they can say, no, I don't have any more. But now I opens it up to where I can say, hey, my name is, and then from there I can say, how often do you guys have this? And I can just take it anywhere I want to go. I can even get a phone number. I can say, hey, if you get more, call me. So I mean, it's like you want them to open it up rather than you come and try to plant the seed, because it usually works better when you let it happen organically. And
Right, right.
Forward.
I saw you had a whole shopping cart of video games you paid like $1 a piece for. I think you were at Walmart because I could tell by the yellow tag. And
Yeah.
I did the same thing. And when I do the same thing, people will leave me comments on my videos like, "Oh no, that ain't gonna sell," and all this stuff. And I'm just like, dude, I just sold a game today for $20 and I bought it Walmart clearance. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I'm like, this is what I do every day for a living, So do you have any kind of remarks or any kind of tips that would help somebody? Because sometimes you go to a lot of these places to try to get merchandise on clearance and you just strike out, there's nothing there, So that happens a lot.
Yeah, but like I was saying earlier, that happens if you're on the level of going to look. I'm not a go and look person. I'm a make things happen person. So rather than just going to look, I'm already having a relationship with the manager, the department manager, the GM, or someone that can make things happen. So I can make the games be $1. You understand what I'm saying? So when I go into a store,
I'm hearing you, but if so,
no, I'm about to give you a pro hack. When you go into a store,
go ahead.
Do you know what a Telzon is?
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, I said, do you know what a Telzon is?
No.
Okay. The Telzon is the little handheld little tool that you see the people walk around with and they scan and do the prices and manipulations and print, receipts or labels or whatever. But if you see anybody with the Telzon, you can start a relationship or a conversation with them to see what level they're on. For instance, let's say I'm on the clearance aisle and I see a lady with the Telzon and she's scanning stuff. Immediately I say, hey, how you doing? Are you marking down? Are you price checking or whatnot? And depending on what they say, I take it further. If they say, oh, I'm marking down, I say, oh, well, how much is the budget? Because if you know how much the budget is, then you can work with it. So they'll say, oh, well, we're just marking down just Barbie today or just Lego. So, all right, well, you have a specific budget. But if they have an open budget, you can say, hey, this stuff over here is kind of dusty. I want all of this, but at the right price. So now you have a little bit of leverage. So now you request the store manager or the department manager or whoever can control that budget, because obviously not anybody can control the budget. If you go to a standard cashier, you can't get them to mark something down just because you ask them. But with a CSM, you can say, hey, this has a stain on it, or this is ripped. Can I get 20% off? And the CSM has the credentials to put the numbers in and to put an explanation and to actually manipulate prices. So you need somebody on your side that can manipulate a price, and not just any, worker can do that. So basically what you do is you figure out who can, and you try to get on their side to make it happen. Don't make it all about yourself, because if you tell them, oh, I'm a reseller and I can take it all, it doesn't make it about both of you guys. So you want to say, hey, I can help you clear this clearance aisle out. I'll give you space again, because you got stuff that's dusty. So nobody's buying it. You don't have a customer. I am your customer, and once you do that, that's a $100,000 relationship right there, because that becomes an ongoing basis, and that becomes a connection with other stores and other managers, and you kind of get into the loop. So that's one of the ways where I really took my retail arbitrage thing to the next level.
Right. I've been able to go to like a thrift store or a Goodwill or something like that and say, hey, I found this item and I'm interested in buying it, and be able to negotiate a price. But I haven't really had a lot of success going to a retail store like Walmart or Target and say, hey, I saw these items on clearance. Can you knock the price down a little bit? So okay, let's say I walk up to let's say I'm the manager of the store and you want to get a discount. What would you say to the manager in order to get them to work with you on the price? What would you say to me? Like, I'm the manager. Hey, how you doing? You're flip $1. I've got all this merchandise here. I need to get rid of it. What would you say to this person to help them to help them get rid of this merchandise?
I wouldn't speak directly to you if you were the manager. I would have someone else speaking for me. That would be the way where I would penetrate. Like I said earlier, if I just come and speak to you, that does nothing for you. It's all about me. So if I have a third party speak to you, then it takes me out of the equation a little, and then that third party is representing me, and it's more leverage, because the third party is going to the manager and saying, hey, my department is kind of screwed up. I'm trying to get it in order. I want to be able to receive these new trucks and put out this new product and do these end caps and everything else. But we have X amount of things that are in the back, are in storage, are in lockup. There's even clearance inside lockup that nobody knows about. You can only know about it when you find it on Brickseat. So it's just like so much going on if the store is not being ran properly, that third party will convince the manager to give them a budget. So you're not necessarily speaking directly to the manager. Now, what can happen is once you do that, the manager might come and see you getting a tremendous amount of stuff, and then start saying, oh, you getting all of this different stuff? And then from there, you can say, oh, yeah, remember Diane came to talk to you about it? Now you can talk to the manager, because now you have a reason to, and now you're taking it to a personal level to where you get on first name basis. And when you come in, you speak to the manager. Hey, how you doing? They know why you're there, and you continue to do what it is that you do. And like I said, it turns into something, and you can do something with it if you know how to.
Right. Yeah. So the third party is almost like a buffer zone, right, between you and the manager, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you need it and sometimes you don't. But like I said, things have to happen organically. If a third party is representing me, then organically I can meet you and win you over. You know what I'm saying? Win friends and influence people. It's really important to do that. So you don't want to try to I don't force anything. There's been times where I did store closing sales and the cashier knew who I was. So I'm coming with my stuff and they say, hey, I see you on the Explore page. You're Flip, right? All right, well, you know what I came to do, so let's get it. We ain't got to
right.
Let's go ahead and get it. And then from there, I open it up. I say, well, what y'all got hiding in the back? I know you got some stuff back there. And then they say, oh, no, I don't have nothing, but the other guy do, and he got this and that. All right, well, tell him to give me some. Stop being greedy. Let's all eat. We all want to eat. You know what I'm saying? So and you kind of like let it open up, and from there, you got it.
Right. I'm with you, dude. They always got stuff in the back. Even if you're at a pawn shop, whatever, they got stuff in the back that they don't tell you about. I went to this pawn shop and I was looking through some DVDs because they were selling them for 25 cents a piece doing the shrink wrap. And I'm just kind of sorting through it, and they see me building up a pile, and manager's like, "Oh, you looking for DVDs?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he recognized me. He's like, "Oh, we got a whole bunch more in the back." He came out, pulled 2 more boxes from the back, and brought them out to me and was like, "Here you go. You can go ahead and look through them." And some of them you're paying a quarter for, and you're selling them for 15, 20, 30 bucks a piece. You see what I mean? But if it's because you've been there several times, you know what I'm saying? Then they recognized you. So it takes a while of you out there getting it and building the relationships up. I want to catch the people in the chat real quick. We had a bunch of people come through. We got Carolina Hustler here. We got Cali Reseller Lewis in the house. We got Russell is here. American Made is here. Fundamentals of Side Hustling. And BK from the Rockies. So now I was going to ask you about that. Now let's say you see a sign and this place is going out of business and it's a store closing event. Like, how would you go about, handling that business? Do you go in there and, like, let's say the store is closing. How do you go about getting deals at stores that are going out of business? You want to give us some information about how you would go about doing that?
Well, yeah. Basically everything that we said earlier, as far as the organic building of a relationship, not just jumping in there and just, hey, I resell. That's everybody. You know what I'm saying? So organic,
right.
You let it happen. So you go into the store. Under normal circumstances, what I do is I go in there and I flex a little bit. Like I might go in there and spend $5,000. You know what I'm saying? And
really?
Then, yeah. And then after I spend $5,000, they're like, all right, this guy's serious. So when I see him again, now they're like, all right, this is the guy that, like, he purchased everything. So, because what I'll do is, let's say if you go into a store and they have Lego at 60% off. It's not the best thing to do to buy it at 60, but it's not the worst thing to do. You're going to make money. So you can wait, and then potentially you'll lose all of the bigger sets, or you can just go in there and flex on them and spend the $5,000, and then when they restock, they'll give it to you at 80 or 90 because they already trust you. You see what I'm saying? So you can make your money on the back end. So what I do is, like I said, I'm all about things happening organically. I don't force anything, because when you force stuff, it doesn't work out. That's not how you play the long game. I play the long game. So the long game is just slow and steady. Anything that you try to make happen really fast, you're not going to sustain that. It just doesn't work that way. Same thing with your inventory. Sometimes you'll sell a lot of stuff, and then sometimes it'll slow down. But if you keep listing and you keep going with your routine, you'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? You'll be fine.
Right. Well, talk to me. So when you're talking about you don't want to force anything, you want to make it organic. It almost sounds like you're trying to, like, talk to a girl, right? And let's say you're trying to get this girl's number, you're trying to take her out on a date. You don't want to come up like a creeper. You know what I'm saying? If you're out at the gym or you're at a club or you're at a bar, you wouldn't just go and scare her away, right? You gotta kind of do it. You got to make it happen kind of organically. You don't want to force nothing, right?
Exactly. Anything that you force is just really not going to, it's not really good. Like, think about it like this, right? If I come to you and you're the manager and I force upon you getting markdowns and getting this and getting that, maybe it might work today, but we don't have anything after that. Now, organically, if I do what I'm doing and then you talk to me and then I obtain your number, now I can just text you out of the blue. Hey, what's going on, Mark? How you doing today? I was wondering if you guys had your budget again. I was wondering if you had anything similar to the stuff I got last time. I was wondering if any of your other manager friends might be in the same situation you were in. Maybe we can make something happen. You see what I'm saying? Now I have leverage.
Right. That's what I was saying. It's almost like if I was coming up to some girl, right, and I was just like, and I was looking desperate. I was like, hey, how are you doing? What's your name? What's your sign? Let me get your number and all this stuff. They're gonna be like, hold on, I don't even know this guy. You know what I'm saying? He just, I just saw him and we were in the parking lot at Burger King. He just ran up on me and it kind of spooked him away. But if you build it up organically and be like, hey, how you doing? My name is Jeff. How is your day going? This line is a long line. You just build up a rapport organically, and then if the girl gives you a number, then you can always hit her up later and work things out. It's kind of the same way when you're building up a relationship with a supplier, right? You don't want to come at them full speed ahead, throwing punches. You want to kind of work your way up to it, right?
Exactly. Now you don't have no skin in the game. Like a lot of people, that they're like the first question they ask is, well, how much do you pay him? Nothing. What you mean? I get skin in the game. Like I said, I'll come in there and drop 5,000 because now I'm separating myself from the people that come in there talking. You know what I'm saying? BLT, you got buyers, lookers, and talkers. At a store closing sale, at a store closing sale, I'm the buyer. I'm not the looker or the talker. It's another guy coming in right after me. It's like, yeah, man, I would spend 20,000 if the stuff was right, but he's just talking. You know what I'm saying? So I spent 5,000. So now, if they have anything that's worth my time, they're gonna call me before they call him. Hey, what's going on, bro? Can you get some more stuff? And it opens it up. And now I can reject stuff. Now I can make stuff less because that's the play now. Because when they call you, now you flipped it around. So when they call you, you don't want it. They call you, they're like, man, I usually get that for 3 cents. I don't even want it if it's $1. That's too much. You know what I'm saying? So now they're like, $1 is too much. Yeah, man, that's too much. Make it 50 cents, and then I can do something with it, man. Make it 50 cents. All right.
right, my man. Oh man, that's funny to me, bro. Hang on 1 second. I muted you. There you go. You back?
Yeah. I'm here.
Yeah, that's funny, bro. I just left the pawn shop and bought some items for 50 cents just at the pawn shop just before we went live. And I was talking to the manager there. And so, but that's cool. If they're calling you up or texting you and saying, hey, we got this merchandise you want to get rid of, it's almost like if you're in an arm wrestling match, now you have the leverage because they came out of the blue and was talking to you, right?
Exactly. And touching on what you said, even if you go to that store and the manager's not there, you can just say, hey, Mark usually brings out a couple boxes from the back. Can you go get them? Now, you see what I'm saying? You got leverage even if he's not there, Or he cannot even work there anymore. You can say, oh, well, the other guy, Jason, used to bring the stuff to the front, the overstock, Do y'all do that anymore? So they're like, oh, he used to do that? Sure. Now you got the same deal. So, I mean, it's really so much more about the creation of stuff than it is about just going and finding something. That's the reason why sometimes people will see my Instagram and they thought it was fake because it was just like, it just looked so good. It was like, nah, that gotta be fake. It gotta be. And I was like, it's not fake, man. It's game.
Right. I seen your videos and you'll be like, if I didn't record it, y'all wouldn't believe me. He scanned it at 3 cents. Right. I was good.
I'm like, wow, this looks crazy.
Yeah, I was going to tell you a story. I have a guy in this place that I go to, Resell America, and the owner's name is Tom. Now, when I went there for a couple of times, I was paying full asking price. But after a while, I just came to him because I was buying these DVDs and he was selling them for $1 a piece. And I just came to him and I was like, hey, man, you see me, I come through here like once or twice a week. I want to buy this merchandise. I usually pay 50 cents for them. You got to mark it $1. Can we meet in the middle? You know what I'm saying? That's all I said. Because every time I came there, I would talk to the guy. He would give me his business card. I would come up to him and say, hey, how was your wife? How was your kids? How's your family doing? And we wouldn't even talk business. I would just creating a relationship, and then, like I said, when I came to him and I was like, hey man, how you doing, Tom? I don't mean to bother you, because he's the owner of the store. And I'm like, I know you usually sell these for $1. You see, I come through here every week. Can you meet me in the middle? And he was like, all right, Jeff, for you, because he already knew who I was. He was like, okay. He's like, from here on out, every time you come to my store, I'm going to give you an employee discount. Anything in this store you want, we'll give you an employee discount. And the employee discount's 30% off. You see what I'm saying? But if I would have come up to him the first day off jump and was like, hey, man, can I get a discount? He would have been like, hold up. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? But if you work it out over 2-3 months or a period of time, you're trying to work up a relationship with this guy. Then whenever you come in there, I don't like even if the owner is not in the shop, I just go up to the checkout lane and be like, yeah, I get an employee discount. You know what I'm saying? So he's not even there. And then they'll be like, oh, who says so? I'm like, the owner, Tom. So she types it on her computer. Okay, Tom says this guy gets an employee discount. Boom. And then I'm good to go. I'm out the door. But they hate me. They don't like me. They don't. The people that work there, they always hate on me every time I come there because they know I'm buying brand new stuff, new in the shrink wrap. They know I don't work there, and they know I'm getting an employee discount. So every time I come through there, they be like, damn, this dude's here again. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes they want to buy it, but they can't leave the cash register. You know what I'm saying? They stuck there all day. Right. So
I'm gonna tell you something about that. Look out for them if you can, and allow them to get some of the stuff that they want, because that builds more relationships in the store as well.
right.
I got a lot of stuff I can't say on YouTube that I have said in my book, in my books that at the end we'll go ahead and link that up and put them in the description and all that and whatnot. I'll put you down as an affiliate also. But with that said, it's a lot of stuff that I can't say because it's like it's finesse. It's on a higher level. Like I get into the back room of these stores. I get a box cutter and everything. I get to look through the overstock. I get to look through the truck. All types of different stuff that you can do, but you got to know how to do it. And just not any person can do it because they are actually scared to go through the different channels that you have to go through to make this happen. The first channel is you have to be social. You know what I'm saying? With respect to what store you're in, because in some stores I throw my headphones on. In some stores I'm just like this. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I do that in some stores, I don't want to be bothered because in some stores they not reseller friendly. You know what I'm saying? And any store that's not like Target is not reseller friendly. I use tax exempt paperwork to not pay taxes, and you can't use that in Target because they don't care if you're a reseller. So it's like in certain stores you got to throw your headphones on and not talk to nobody because they'll mess up your situation. Just like in the Walmart where the guy took my 3-cent games. Excuse me, to anybody that finds 3-cent games in Walmart, use self-checkout so that way you don't have to deal with anybody. And pay for your games really quickly because once you got a receipt, it's yours. I have had people try to take my games after I paid for them. And obviously that's not going to happen because I don't have that type of mentality. I just leave with my games. It's paid for, and I didn't steal it. I'm out. Figure out on your end what's going on. I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I carry it. Use the self-checkout if you can. There has been instances where the 3-cent games are inside that stupid case. You know what I'm talking about? Where they have to like demagnetize it and open it.
I know you're in that little clear case with the lock with the latch on top, right?
Yeah, if the game is inside of there, you kind of like at the person's mercy because all cashiers react differently, and you really don't know what situation you're in until you get into it. Like one store where the post you seen where I got the $1 games, they had some PS4 games that were really expensive that were $1, and I had to give it to the guy that was helping me because he wouldn't have rang out my other stuff if I didn't give it to him. So I gave it to him. I didn't really want to, but I had to because, like I said, sometimes you got to grease their palms, or they're going to like shut you down, bro. They're going to shut you down.
And so give me some advice. So let's say I'm at this Walmart, I found a bin, and I'm looking through a bunch of DVDs and video games in there. What kind of things should I be looking out for to try to find good deals on these items? I mean, do I just need to scan every barcode to find them, or give me some type of tips or advice? Do you have like the Walmart app on your phone where you scan the barcodes with, or what?
I have everybody's app. Like I said, some of this stuff is in my book. I have everybody's app, and I know exactly what to do in each store because one of the important things about RA is you want to master whatever stores you go into. Like, let's say if you go into Ross, you want to know what the markdown tags mean. You want to know what the last number means. You want to know the people in the department. The reason why that's important, the last number of clearance tells you if that's final clearance or if there is another markdown coming. Now, only thing you have to do is figure out when is that markdown coming. You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
like for instance, you've seen clearance where the last number is 98, right? All right, there's other numbers too. 98. You usually have another markdown coming after that in most stores. Like, all right, in Walmart, the last markdown is 1 cent. Most of the time it's 3 cents, but the last markdown is it's a penny. So you have to kind of have an understanding of the markdowns, and you got to know what you're looking for. Or you can go in there and just scan everything with the app. But the thing about the app is it's not always updated in the stores that you're in. So you might not know. I'll give you another pro hack that you can do. If you find anything that's good in a Walmart, scan the stuff with the Walmart app when you're home, and then it'll go find stores locally to you and tell you what the price of that stuff is. So you like scan stuff when you're not standing in any Walmart store with the app, and it will look in the closest store to tell you what it is. So that's a hack that you can do, and then look at the recommended stuff because it usually shows you other similar items. and check the prices. And if you see any good hits, you go to that store. You're not like specifically looking for that item because it's give and take with Brickseek. You know, it could be a delay. It could be stuff that's already locked down by the people that work there. So you're kind of really looking for a lead. You're not really looking for an item, so to speak, because sometimes the stuff is not there unless you see quantity of 10 or 100 or whatever. You know, like I've gotten items where I got thousands of units, and I had to clear out basically from here to Virginia Beach. You know, all the Walmarts.
Okay, now I had a question. If you're at a Walmart and you see items that have been on clearance for longer than 30 days, can you go and like talk to the manager and be like, hey, I'm interested in buying these video games. They've been sitting here longer than 30 days. Do you try to work out a deal with them, or what would you do in that case?
That's too short. That ain't gonna work. That's going back to what I was saying about you're not allowing it to be organic now because you're still pushing. You got your foot on the gas. You can't really have your foot on the gas like that because now, like I said, what are you doing for me? The average person is going to say, yeah, well, we got 2 more budgets coming, so we don't really need to rush. We have 2 more times that we can mark it down. So you really don't have any real leverage. Like I was saying just earlier, when you get to that final markdown phase, now you got some wiggle room to say, oh, man, this stuff has been here for X amount of time. Boom, boom, boom. Like even this, I'll give you another nugget. Have you ever scanned something that said it wasn't available in the store, but you have it in your hand?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, that's usually something that's deleted. Once something is deleted, there is no loss. So usually what I do is when something is deleted, I try to find a department manager and ask them if they can put it back into the system at $1. Now, a lot of my methods that I'm telling you about, 99.9% of the time, people are going to say hell no to you. But that one yes is going to open up a lot of doors. So obviously that doesn't work a lot because the people will, their rebuttal is usually, once again, I got my foot on the gas. And they're like, well, why would I make it $1 for you if it's not in the system? And I tell them, I say, all right, well, you want to recall it and send it back, or you want to make the store $1? What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? But once again, I got my foot on the gas. This usually works better in a store where you already have a relationship and you already purchased. So now you just find stuff that's deleted so you can get it for $1. You know, I've gotten 1 terabyte hard drives for $1. I've gotten different automotive products and all types of things for $1 in stores that I had that relationship in because it was deleted. And I would just wait until they got their budget, and I would actually be in the clearance aisle as they were marking down and telling them what to do. So the different automotive stuff they had, I said, oh, all of this is $1. These Legos over here, nothing is over $10. The video games, nothing is over $5. And I would pretty much control the whole budget and buy all of that stuff.
Right. Yeah, I've actually went to clearance before and saw like computer games and stuff at Walmart for like 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? It's been there for a while. It was marked down to 50 cents. I went ahead and grabbed it, took it home. It didn't sell for much, maybe 10 or 15 bucks. But I mean, you only have 50 cents tied up in it. So I wanted to catch some people in the chat. We got Kent here. He says security clearance tags suck. We got the flipping accountant here. He says, good evening, Noel. Mr. Trash to Cash is on the screen. Says, what's going on, man? So right. So we've been talking a lot on retail arbitrage today. He says that you're from trash to cash. So tell everybody about how you go about getting merchandise for free to resell on eBay. Like, what's your strategy on doing that? I know you talked about building relationships up. You talk a little bit about how that works if someone wanted to get merchandise for free or for really cheap to resell to make profit.
Okay, well, the easiest ways to do trash to cash, I'm going to give you a couple easy scenarios. Go down to like the waste management place where you live and ask them for the list for bulk trash day. All right, so that's one of the ways you can do it. Once you got the bulk trash day list, now you know what day bulk trash is in certain neighborhoods. On bulk trash day, people are throwing out rocking chairs. They sell for good money. People are throwing out older electronics. I don't know if you know, older computers have, with the ceramic CPU, it's a lot of gold in those computers. So you can mine the gold and collect that. You can usually sell the motherboard and CPU if it's functioning for several $100s. I'm talking about the older computers that turn yellow. You know, the ones that's white but they turn yellow.
Right.
Are worth money if you know what you're looking at. I break all this down in my book. Rocking chairs, tables, all types of different electronics, anything household. Like you can be coming down the street and on bulk trash day, somebody's throwing out a painting, somebody's throwing out some golf clubs with the little caddy and whatnot. People are throwing out Power Wheel cars because the battery is no good, but the actual car is still worth $200. You got the charger with it. It's just so many different ways that you can do it, and it's all free. So you just go through it. I always record when I'm going through it, and I always announce myself. So if I'm on your street and I'm doing trash to cash, when I get out the vehicle, I have my phone on and I'm holding it up. I'm either live on Instagram or I'm just recording a video. I walk over to it. Now, what this does is, if it's a lot of stuff, no one can say I'm dumping or doing anything illegal. And if I see any neighbors or anybody, I make myself known and say, hey, how you doing? I'm doing trash to cash. This is what I do. So that way they know I'm not, trying to trespass or, do anything that could get you in trouble or get you hurt. Because sometimes you might be on somebody's driveway, you might be near somebody's house, and you want to let them know, look, I'm just looking through your trash. You know what I'm saying? Do I have permission? And that usually helps me out a lot because people are really friendly when you do that. They'll say, oh, yeah, we got more coming. What you looking for? And it opens it up. So you want to do that because you don't want to get into any type of trouble. Because when I do trash to cash, another thing is I do it at night. Like I might do it like 1 or 2 in the morning sometimes. It's not often because some of the better stuff, and I'll talk about this in the book, the better stuff is not thrown out on trash day, it's thrown out the day before. So it's already out there. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to know what you're looking for. Like, let's say if you see a dishwashing machine is broken, how much are the racks going for? How much are the knobs? Take the knobs and the racks off. You got some money. Go look on eBay to complete it. It's money. If you see a refrigerator with an ice maker, how much are the shelving? How much is the drawers? It's money. It's free money. It's
right.
free money.
I was watching your video the other day, and you were talking about how there were some Nintendo Wii cords that were frayed. And you're like, I could still use these as testers to test out the other ones when I get a Nintendo Wii to make sure it's still working. So I was like, man, this dude, he thinks out the box. He's moving. He's hustling. Like I feel like this dude's out here working 7 days a week, making something happen. You're not just sitting still waiting for it to come to you, right?
Excuses, man. Money don't have legs, man. Money is never going to get legs and come to you. You got to make it come to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Money.
Right. Like you were talking about the remote control car, and the battery might be dead, but the shell of the car itself might still be good, and you can flip that, right?
Yeah, man. Listen, there's so many ways you can go. I'll give you a scenario that I usually use when people challenge or they want to debate with me about what I do. They'll say, well, how can you sell this? Who wants this? And I always tell them, I say, you ever had a junk car on your block? They say, yeah. I say, well, how much was the car worth? I say, I don't know. I say, did the car have a windshield? How much is the windshield on your car if you crack it? How much is your mirror, your rear view mirror? How much is your side mirror? How much is your door panel? How much is your bumper? So how are you saying that it has no value just because it doesn't drive? You got to think outside of the box. Everything has parts. One of the biggest things that I do with trash to cash is taking apart TVs and selling the parts. You'll see me doing that a lot on Instagram. When you see a TV, you get it. I got a 4K Sony TV, and I sold it for $200, and it was broken. You know what I'm saying? Got it out the trash.
The motherboards and stuff inside of there are worth some money to TV repair people.
I lowballed myself, man. I could have got a lot more. Yeah, but all of that stuff is worth money.
But I'm saying, like, if you look at it, like, if someone's like a TV repair technician, they got to have a certain serial model number in order for that motherboard to line up. The TV remote itself you can sell for money. The TV remote by itself might sell for $10, $15, $20 just a remote. So yeah, that's the thing. If you just out there looking and hunting, you might be rolling right by a profit every day and not even know it. That's the thing.
Every single day. This computer that I'm talking to you on, I got it out the trash. This picture
all right, cool.
Here, picture of this wolf, this picture right here, I got both of those pictures out the trash.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
now go ahead. Since we got you here on, can you give us 3 tips that would help somebody? If somebody, maybe they're a part-time reseller and maybe they're making $1,000 or $2,000 a month selling stuff on eBay. Let's say they're making $1,000 and they want to get to $10,000 a month. Do you have some advice or some recommendations you could give somebody? If they're like, dude, I'm doing this part-time, I'm making a little bit of profit, maybe $1,000, $2,000 a month, but I'm trying to get to the point where I can make $10,000 a month. Do you have some recommendations or suggestions to help them get from point A to point B?
Of course. You said how many? 3?
Let's say I'm at 2,000 a month. I'm trying to get to 10,000. How do I go about doing that?
Okay, I can help you with that. How many recommendations you said? 1, 2, or 3?
Yeah, give me 3 tips. Three tips. Go ahead.
Okay, the first one, getting from 1 to 10. It's really not hard if you're willing to put the work in. What you want to do is you need to start off with the budget. Like, I noticed that a lot of people freestyle their way into stuff. I'm not a freestyler. I'm orientated. Like, I'm on goals. I have different things that I'm doing, and I'm just manifesting my thoughts. So basically, if you want to get to 10, first you have to believe that you can get to 10, right? Because most people are not getting to 10 because they don't believe they can. So first it starts with the belief, because let's say if we cut the lights off, my 3-year-old may be scared of the dark because he looks at 3 little pigs and the big bad wolf. So in his mind, this wolf that's behind me is going to get him. So he's creating that type of energy when the light is off, but nothing is going to get me because I'm not thinking about that. So you have to position your mind to get to 10. So that's 1. Now what you're going to do is you're going to actually manifest it. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a budget for yourself, because you've been freestyling and you don't have a budget. So you kind of just go out and find what you can, and you go with that. That's not going to work. You're not going to really get to where you got to get to by doing that. So what you're going to do is you're going to start by building some credit. The reason why the credit is important, the credit is going to kind of take the skin off of your back and put it on someone else's. So what you're going to do is that 1,000 that you know how to make, you're going to take all of that 1,000 and you're going to put it back into the business by getting yourself a secure line of credit. So you want to go to the bank. You can usually do this at a Wells Fargo, or you can call your local bank and figure out who does this. And you go in there and say, hey, I want to open up a line of credit. I want it to be secured. Secured meaning you're going to use your own money. So you're going to use your own $1,000 that you keep turning over, and you're going to get it into a line of credit. And the reason why you're doing this, you want to get to that 10 mark. So now every month you got to spend that $1,000. So minimum, you're going to be getting $1,000 worth of product now, which is going to step your game up a lot, because on some months you're probably spending 200, you're spending 300, and then when you really do great, you're probably spending like 600 or 700, but you don't have any consistency because you're kind of, once again, you're freestyling. We're not going to get anywhere with freestyling. We need solid goals that we can look and see, like, how am I doing as far as my progress? So now that you have a budget of $1,000, you need to exhaust this budget, like I said, to keep inventory at a certain space. Everything is numbers. Let's say if you got 1,000 listings on eBay, we know you're going to sell 20 things per month. That's easy numbers. Like, you will sell 20 things if you got 1,000 listed, unless your store is just terrible. Your prices are wrong, your pictures suck, your keywords suck. You're not going to sell anything. But at the end of the day, it's all numbers. So, all right, you got 1,000 things listed. Boom, you got $1,000 to spend. Now that you're exhausting that $1,000, you can go from having 1,000 things listed to 1,500 things. So now you just jumped up 50%. Now you're making more money. You're on your way to recognizing that goal of getting to $10,000 in sales. And it's going to happen because you want to keep your mindset positive. You want to continue to build. You want to go through your checklist and see what you're doing, see what you're not doing, and just, work with what you got that's working and get rid of everything that's not. So that way you can scale. Because if you kind of like ignoring the things that's not working and you're still doing them, then you're not going anywhere, because you're connecting yourself to stuff that doesn't work, and you know this. So you want to disconnect from pushing and trying to make things happen and start letting the organic stuff happen, because you're playing the long game and consistently listing, consistently getting out there and making relationships, because that's the most important thing. You can't do any of this stuff by yourself. When you sell something, you're not carrying it to the person's door. The post office is, or some type of carrier, and you need boxes. You need somebody to make boxes and whatnot. You need so many different people. So start with making sure your operation is the best that it can be by having your mind right and having your budget and go and buy, some set parameters so you can get there. That's the first thing. The second thing is master what it is that you're doing. If you're doing trash to cash, be the best at it. If you're doing RA, be the best at it. If you're doing OA, and what I mean by that is master your store. Understand the markdowns. Understand what is being marked down. Go get some intel by having somebody in the store that has some level of authority. If the person can't mark stuff down for you, they're not really that good, but you can get something from them. But if you got somebody with the authority to mark stuff down, if you got somebody with the authority to hold stuff for you, with the authority to put you in position to get the best stuff that you can get, now you have a budget. Now you have something lined up, which I call a play. So you got a play and you got some money. So you halfway there. You know what I'm saying? And then the third thing would be your logistics. What you want to do is you want to have a route. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you probably have a route if you're doing thrifting. Have a route.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're starting with taking that $1,000 and then putting it into a secure credit card. If you don't already have credit, I'm starting with the people that are just getting
basics.
Started. Basics of the
Go
basics.
ahead.
Most of the people you see killing it, they're using credit. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who they are, what account that you see, ask them. They are using credit 99.9% of the time. Whenever you see inventory start to really scale and stores, that's usually credit. Very rarely is it hard money. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, you're taking the skin out the game. If you can get $100,000 worth of inventory with a credit card, and then you know it's going to sell quickly, you're going to have the money back, and you're going to have the purchasing power to get more. It's a win-win situation. So get your stuff together, set your budget. $1,000 will be the minimum. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're really out here doing this and you are serious, just scrape your $1,000 up. If you don't have any money, just use service. If you have no money, you have service. So service is babysitting, cooking for somebody, any type of odd job, anything that you can do to get some money, do that, get the money, get to $1,000, start off that account, set your goals up, master where you're going, and then have the logistics in line to have a route. I had a route where I would hit every Toys R Us store from here to about 5.5 hours away from where I live. And I did that route like every 3 days. And when I got to every store, I gathered intel. When I got to every store, I purchased whatever the best stuff was, and I just stayed on top of everything that was going on. I asked a lot of questions. I recorded a lot of people. You'll notice that all of the times where I had altercations where people took stuff from me or I had altercations, I was recording. I'm always recording. I hit my record and what you got going on, and then let them go ahead and talk and go from there. So you got to have that intel, man. You're not going to be getting the 3-cent games before me if you live near me if you don't know they're there. You're not going to get them. You're going to see me posted on Instagram. You're going to run behind me. They gone, man. They gone. I done went to 25 stores already. You're not going to find that specific game. Maybe I might get you hungry enough to go find something else. But what I just posted, it ain't there. Not locally. It's going to be somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because, at those prices, I'm taking everything, man. And I'm getting it the next time it's marked down too, because I'm asking when that is going to be. You see what I'm saying? So,
Right. And how important is it to people to reinvest their money back into their business? Because I think sometimes people make some money and then they're like, okay, cool, I'm going to go buy me a new car. I'm going to go buy me a new pair of Jordans. I'm going to go on a vacation. You know what I'm saying? And instead of taking the money and reinvesting it back into their business,
Oh, and it's real important, man. I've adopted a mindset of a person that's wealthy. So what I do is I only buy what I need. You know what I'm saying? That's it. If I don't need it, I don't buy it. So, I'm so basically I'm reinvesting as much as I can. But to each his own. I know people that they buy the Jordans, like you said, or they go to the bar and do this and do that. Hey, man, if you're playing the short game, that's good for you. I'm playing the long game. So like I said, with my money, I'm trying to get me some dividends, which means I'm going to be getting more money, and the money that I'm investing, if I'm investing it properly, it's still going to be there, and it's going to be accumulating compound interest. So do you want to pay the compound interest, or do you want to earn it? That's up to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
I don't tell people what to do and how to feel. That I just try to tell people what I'm doing, and if it resonates and they feel it, then they can go ahead and go with it or not. It is what it is.
All right, man. We almost up at the hour mark. We usually don't do our show longer than an hour. So go ahead and give us your final thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and link your YouTube channel down below. Tell people where they can find you at on YouTube and Instagram, right?
Yeah. Well,
all right.
My YouTube is youtube.com/FlipADollar. I'm on Instagram at FlipADollar, and I'm on Twitter at PushIt215. What I would like to say in closing is, thank you for everybody that tuned in. I want to thank you for bringing me on the show. And anybody that's interested in any of my products and getting more game, I do have some books that we'll put into the description. And it's going to be an affiliate link. So me and you will make some money in this process. And I'm going to give you guys a good discount. So, yeah, man, I don't have much more to say other than that. Stay tuned in and we're going to go ahead and make this money.
Right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and link your channel down below. I want to give a shout out to people in the chat real quick that are hanging out with us. We had Tommy Bernard here, American Made, Bearded Veteran was here. The Flippin' Accountant was here hanging out with us. We got BK from the Rockies, and we got the Bargain Effect. He says lots of great info here. So, hey, thank you guys for hanging out. And, hey, we'll have you back on the show again sometime if you're free, maybe after all this, after all this Black Friday and the election and Christmas is over. We'll hang out again soon, all right?
Cool. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thanks for hanging out with me today, bro. I appreciate you guys. Catch you later. Y'all have a great night.